Hello, it's me again, psychologist Yuliia Latunenko, with a topic about the end of relationships. Today I want to tell you about 10 signs when a relationship should be ended. 10 signs that mean the relationship has practically ended on its own. Many people who have toxic relationships hesitate for a very long time, and sometimes several years pass in toxicity and abusive relationships before people decide to break up. But why is that? And when it is necessary to make the important decision to end such relationships, I will tell you today. If you are visiting my channel for the first time, then subscribe to it and give this video a like in advance. And I will be very grateful to you for any of your activity, including comments. Having practiced for almost 21 years now, I see many couples who are unhappy. They live maintaining relationships that have practically fallen apart, practically do not exist. Relationships that bring pain, suffering, and traumatize not only the partners, but also their children. And the partners who come to me for help, they still have some illusion that the other will change, that a wonderful moment is about to come. Something will happen and the other will change. But the problem only deepens and deepens over time. And people lose the most valuable thing they have in our beautiful life. It's time. The time of our life. It's the most important currency. We pay for our lessons. We pay for growing up, for our development in such relationships. And not just time. In such relationships, I very often observe serious illnesses, psychosomatic and otherwise. Even when a person cannot leave the relationship in reality, cannot leave such a partner who humiliates, manipulates, blackmails, threatens, creates physical and psychological abuse. The person who is afraid to make the decision to break up, unfortunately, ends the relationship in a very dramatic way. They become ill, and these illnesses can be incurable. Unfortunately, I have had many such cases where a person did not leave the relationship, did not break up, did not divorce, but fell ill with cancer, diabetes, and unfortunately left the relationship by passing away. Enduring, holding on to something that has already fallen apart, practically doesn't exist, something that causes pain, is very dangerous. And once one of my teachers in family psychotherapy, Michael Vincent Miller, a very famous American psychotherapist who has written many books on the psychology of relationships, said that there are 3 signs when it's time to break off a relationship. And the first sign is when you feel weaker in the presence of your partner than you actually are. That is, when your partner devalues you. The second sign is when you leave work and don't want to go home. You want to go somewhere with friends to a bar, have a cocktail, or a bottle of beer, because there's that other person who creates a lot of tension for you and with whom you have no dialogue. And the third sign that it's time to separate is a conflict that has been unresolved for years. For years, it repeats and repeats and looks like a broken record. Nothing changes in the relationship, stagnation. The couple seems to be stuck in the same conflict. And These are the three important signs that it's time to end the relationship. But today I will share with you my perspective on when it's time to end a relationship. I have my special 10 signs for you. And the first of these signs is betrayal. Because betrayal is something that is never forgotten. Partners may pretend that they have forgotten, forgiven. But what happened is never forgotten, because our relationships, unfortunately, are made up of our past actions, our words. And even when partners say, oh, I forgave, I forgot, I never bring it up, it's still not entirely true. Trust is broken, and restoring this trust is practically impossible. It's a crack that forever becomes a pain in the relationship, forever creating a psychological, emotional problem in the relationship. I believe that after betrayal, the relationship should be ended. The second sign is humiliation. It's obscene expressions directed at you with some such devaluation with humiliation, I would say. When a partner doesn't choose their words, says hurtful things to you, which then, like the word zingoropchik. Once it flies out, you can't catch it and put it back in your mouth. Therefore, I think that after this, trust is also broken, and emotional contact can no longer be restored. I believe that the first thing normal, healthy relationships should be based on is respect for me, the partner, profanity, humiliation, devaluation. This is not respect, so there is no foundation for continuing the relationship in such a case. The third sign is exposing you to mortal danger. This is when a partner threatens you with your death. For example, I am very often told about cases where a partner, while driving a car, starts accelerating, gaining speed to scare their partner sitting next to them, and in this way frightens them, shows their power, and exposes their partner to mortal danger. That's the end of it. This is where the relationship should end. The fourth sign is when a partner blackmails you with their own death, manipulates, may demonstratively attempt suicide, threatens you that you will be responsible if you do something not the way they want, and then they will commit suicide. But I want to tell you that every person is fully responsible for their own health, for their own life. You cannot be responsible for another person's decision to commit suicide, to end their life. This is a person's own decision. Therefore, this is an infantile, manipulative attitude of your partner who simply exhausts you and takes away your time in life. In this case, you also need to end the relationship, because with an infantile person, with a child who blackmails and shows that they are about to do something, it is impossible to build adult, mature relationships. The fifth sign is physical violence, or, some physical actions towards the partner. This includes beating, pushing, slapping. Even if it doesn't hurt and doesn't pose any danger to your health, yes, because you can just slap a person, but that is already a form of humiliation. This is already physical abuse. And in such a case, if you don't end the relationship, the partner then understands that this is acceptable with you. The problem can then deepen. Just slapping once, it will get worse from there. Further, physical abuse will intensify and can reach very, extreme forms of physical violence. This includes, I am also talking about rape within a couple, even when it happens in marriage. Now we have reached the halfway point of my signs, and we will continue. But I will remind you that I would be very pleased if you subscribe to my channel and like this video. Also, write whether you have encountered at least one of these points in your relationships that I am talking about. The sixth sign is global lying. This is not about small lies, but rather lies that lead to a total violation of your not only physical, but also psychological boundaries. For example, this includes using your resources, such as your money behind your back, taking out loans in your name, or using your property without your permission. This is now a sign that the partner is very dangerous, and the problem will deepen if you do not stop and break contact with such a partner. I want to separately highlight the seventh sign as the violation of any of your boundaries. These are physical and mental boundaries. But why am I mentioning this separately? Because a person may not know your psychological boundaries. If physical boundaries are our skin, our body, and if it's clear here, if you are hit or pushed, it's a violation of physical boundaries. But until you express your psychological boundaries, a person cannot know about them until you say, stop. Don't do that. Stop. I do not allow you to treat me this way. But there's a big but here. You can state your psychological boundaries once, how you should not be treated, how one should not act. And the person might promise you, yes, I won't do that anymore. But the next time, it all repeats. The next time, he or she repeatedly violates your boundaries, meaning they ignore what you have marked as a stop rule, as your personal psychological boundaries. Such violations, now disregard and ignoring of boundaries, are signs that the partner is toxic and you should immediately end the relationship with them. The eighth sign is the inability to take responsibility for one's actions and words. In a mature, healthy couple, conflicts naturally occur. The main point is not to avoid conflicts, but rather how partners are able to resolve these conflicts. It is very important to be able to take responsibility for your 50% contribution to the conflict. If partners cannot take responsibility, and all dialogues, all arguments end with the kind of words that children in kindergarten say to each other, like, well, you are too, look at yourself, you also have this, and they might even compare each other. So such conversations are very immature. They are not a dialogue, they are just shifting responsibility onto the partner. This is an externally accusatory position, again, immature. And such a person or two people are not ready to build adult, mature relationships. One should end such relationships and go to psychotherapy to work through personal issues. The ninth sign that it's time to end a relationship is arrogance. When a partner shows a certain level of arrogance towards you, criticizes you, judges you, shames you, devalues you. This is all disrespect towards you. All of this indicates that you are not valued. And if you are not valued, then the relationship is not built on the basis of love. For some reason, they are built on a toxic foundation where one narcissistic person boosts their significance, their self-esteem, at the expense of another person. And the 10th sign, one which I would recommend considering as 50-50, is manipulation, gaslighting, such psychological blackmail. in such a situation, you should try to consult a specialist, a family psychologist, with your partner. If the partner refuses to work on the relationship, if he believes that it is not his problem, but yours, if he uses gaslighting against you and such abuse as the silent treatment, then you should immediately end this relationship now and not waste your valuable time, your life, and your health on it. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, and let me know in the comments if you have encountered any of these signs in your relationships. And are you considering ending your relationship, thinking that it is based on toxicity? Or maybe everything is fine in your relationship? I would be happy to receive such comments as well.